To be living elemental is to be living a more balanced life. I'm your host, Sara Ann, and the founder of Jade Scott Design. Through my interior design studio and feng shui practice, I awaken clients to the idea that their home is just as essential to their well being as is to their mind and bodies. Essentially, nature's elements create balance and support, and through the lens of home, we can utilize their power when applied intentionally. Through this podcast, it is my intention to open you up to the idea that by living elemental through mind, body, and spirit will have a significant impact on your home and your life. I think all of us are probably getting a little excited now that spring is approaching. I don't know about you, but this winter has not been too bad. I'm in Pittsburgh, so I'm in the northern hemisphere. We had a lot of really warm days in February. I mean, some days went slightly over 70, which was amazing. What a treat to be able to just get outside in the middle of February, clean my car, walk the dog without a coat. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm usually hibernating like a bear at this time of year. I already know that I plan to move to a warmer climate someday, of course, when the time is right, because I just do not have the same appreciation for winter that I used to have. So, yes, the weather has certainly felt like spring, but I think now we're starting to feel it more energetically as well. We are transitioning out of the water element of winter and we're entering the wood phase in our cycle. What is happening very naturally in nature, of course, is also starting to stir within our homes and ourselves. And that's what I'm going to touch on today is aligning your home energetically with the spring equinox. Again, setting your home up to play a more supportive role in your life. I'll touch on spring cleaning as there's a few things that go beyond your general cleaning routine. This time of year requires that deep cleaning where you're getting into all the nooks and crannies of your home, anywhere that you notice dust and webs and debris that tend to build up over the winter. This is going to be in all of the corners of your rooms, under area rugs and floor mats, but also vacuuming out your air vents or even having your air ducts cleaned professionally is really great after so much furnace usage in the winter. But pulling out your furniture, rolling up your rugs, really doing a deep clean on your floors is going to help you align with your ambitions or intentions because your floors represent grounding and support. So think of yourself as laying the groundwork, right? Spring is the time of planting new seeds, starting new projects, rebirth, renewal. So cleaning your floors is going to support and initiate that momentum. This is what we talk about cleaning with intention. This is the mind body home. This is working with the elements in nature. Another thing I suggest cleaning with intention is your drapery. I mean, custom drapery, especially, is a significant investment. So ensure you're maintaining your drapes to prolong their life. If you only do this once a year, this is the time to do it because drapery represents the wood element, which is connected to springtime and, its shape being tall and columnar represent that of a growing plant. Cottons and linens are derivatives of plants as well. All of these represent spring or the wood element. So, in addition to your typical spring cleaning, I do suggest you add uh, deep cleaning of your floors, baseboards, air vents, and all of your textiles, such as drapery, bedding, and pillowcases. Another thing I suggest to be mindful of is the cleaning products that you do use, especially if you have children and pets. You want to be sure that you're avoiding harsh chemicals. You can make a really great all purpose cleaner with just some cast soap, vodka, distilled water, essential oils, and maybe a little bit of borax if that's even really necessary. I mean, borax is typically safe when used mildly and, of course, should not be ingested or handled by children. But essential oils, they're great for cleaning. You can use anything that is citrusy to lift up the chi or the energy. Lemon, sweet orange. Personally, I really like grapefruit. I also like to use a little bit of tea tree for its antibacterial and antifungal properties. And what's great about making your own products is not only do you know exactly what's in it, but you can even set your own intention for your cleaner. This speaks directly to intentional living, right? We're not just buying whatever off the shelves because it's on sale or it's what we're used to. We're not really reading labels, right? We are being conscious about the things we bring into our space. So maybe your intention for your spray could be something like, I am supported in taking action. I am grounded as I move my projects forward. Maybe you need that grounding energy because you have a lot of balls in the air and staying grounded is important for you. You need to be focused at this time. There's a lot of things building momentum. If you have kids, spring sports and activities are picking up, the end of the school year is wrapping up with concerts and events. You're pushing new ideas through in your business or your work. You're starting to plan your summer vacation, right? There's a lot going on. And springtime really is about that. It's about momentum. And so as these things start to pick up, you can bring some intention to your cleaning and clearing. Which brings me to clearing. I'm not going to get too detailed into space clearing in this episode, but it's important to touch on in regards to aligning our home's energy with the spring equinox. We talked a few episodes back about creating that sacred space and really being mindful of the objects that you have in your home. If you missed that episode, you can go back and listen to it. It's titled Finding Sacred Space in Everyday Moments. But going through that process, making sure the furnishings, the decorative accents, the inherited furniture, and other objects like books, media, shelves are all aligned with you at this time in your life. Making sure that when you're looking at them or holding them, that they bring you joy or some sort of positive emotion or memory. That's part of the decluttering process, really, no matter how big or small it is. Just putting some attention on that is really important. And this is a really great time to do that as well. So, cleaning with more intention is step one. Removing objects and accents that no longer serve or belong is step two. And then clearing is step three. Some practitioners like to clear their home's energy before they clean, but I like to clean it first because I feel like cleaning is what gets the energy moving. So, for example, when you're dusting or vacuuming, you tend to notice the little dust particles floating around in the air, right? Things are moving. And so I feel that clearing should kind of be last so that you can transform the chi and invoke a new intention for your now cleaned space. And the invocation is sort of like that ritualistic, peaceful state you want to leave your home in and just kind of like be done in the process. So, to start, I do suggest cracking open a window, especially if you're going to use some sort of smoke for this process. But regardless, allowing fresh air to come in and circulate your home is going to help transmute any stagnant chi. So you can use smoke, you can use sound, you can use smokeless sprays. There are tons of ways in which you can clear your home. You can even just turn on some music. There's no rules here. Just pick your favorite or pick what resonates with you or just pick what you have available to you. If you'd like to use smoke, I'd say sage is probably the most well known herb as it's strongly associated to purification. Sage contains antibacterial properties, and so its smoke literally cleans the air as it burns down. And so this is by far a great herb to use, but there's also mugwort, cedar. Another favorite of mine is sweetgrass, just because it smells so divine. One thing I do want to note is to make sure that whatever herb you decide to use is of high quality plant matter. The ones I sell in my shop are ethically and sustainably sourced from an organic farm that is indigenous and women owned. You can even do some research and grow some of these herbs yourself if that's something that interests you, just like we spoke about with the all purpose cleaner. If you don't want to use smoke, you can use essential oils through a diffuser or find a smudge spray. There's plenty on the market that you can certainly find, or again, make your own. We also mentioned using sound, and you can do that through sound bowls, bells, rattles, even just clapping your hands or just turning on some music and letting the sound reverberate or permeate through your home. Regardless of whether you use smoke or sound or oils, I like to start at my front door and just sort of walk through the home from left to right, being especially mindful of, again, those stagnant corners and closets, and just kind of repeating that direction on each floor or even in your basement. And the last thing I want to touch on for setting up your home this spring is houseplants. Just like our bodies and our skin is feeling the effects of winter, right? We haven't seen much sunlight and our skin is dry no matter how hard we try to stay hydrated or how much lotion we continue to put on. We just need a reset. And so do your plants. I look around at mine and they've sort of lost their green vibrancy. The soil looks dry no matter how often I water them, and some are even a bit moldy. So, repotting your houseplants is a really great activity for welcoming spring's wood energy into your home. It allows us to literally play in the dirt for that grounding effect we talked about. We are giving the plant new life as we are also giving birth to new ideas. Or you might be planting new seeds in your life, maybe for your work or community or friendships. And so the act of starting some seedlings to support that intention is another way to play with this energy. If you don't currently have houseplants, I do recommend bringing in at least one into your space. I know that a lot of people stress that they kill their plants more than they actually take care of them. I mean, I used to be that way until I decided that I didn't have to believe that about myself anymore. I really wanted to um, become a plant person. I mean, I've kept my children alive so far, so I'm pretty sure I am capable of maintaining a plant or two. Plants improve the overall indoor air quality in your home. And they provide positive life energy or chi. And they're also a great representation of the five element cycle. The plant itself represents wood's energy. Its container represents earth as it is its supportive vessel. Plants need, of course, the sun's fiery energy and they need water, and its release of organic matter into the soil creates the metal that is needed for nourishment. Just like tending to animals or children or even ourselves, promotes a sense of cultivating attention and care. Tending to your plants is a really wonderful way to infuse a mindful practice into your day. You can ask, what needs tended to? Just take that time of tending to your plants to sort of check in with yourself. Bringing nature inside can really change the energy of your space. And in fact, I just added 2 small potted herbs to my windowsill in my kitchen. And I was amazed at how that little addition really caught my attention the next time I walked into the kitchen. And so it was just a validation for me that the things we keep in our spaces do carry a vibration and an energy, and they play on our conscious and or unconscious minds. The question is, are we paying attention? I was in that moment, and that made it even more satisfying that I was aware, right? Mindful living is a practice. And once you start noticing yourself noticing that, you're going to want to experience it again and again. So I say go beyond just thinking spring and instead intentionally invite spring into your home through more mindful living. Thank you for listening today. I am recording this segment with a slight throat cold, so please excuse my voice. But I did just want to remind you that the best way to support me and this podcast is to rate and review or even share it with others. It brings me a lot of joy when I get new reviews because it lets me know that I'm touching someone out there rather than wondering if I'm just speaking to the void. And so thank you to all of you who have already shown your support. And if you're starting to think about your spring cleaning or starting to look at your home in a new way, which is my goal for you, I have a guide in the show notes that offers 5 simple ways to uplift your home's energy. Just click that link, and in exchange for your email,
I will send you the guide right away so that you can get started today. As always, I'm working on other ways to support you at home, and my email list is the best way for me to stay in touch with you regarding anything new. For example, I'm starting a mini-series for the podcast, which I haven't fully vetted the title as of yet, but I'm thinking along the lines of At Home with ... The idea is I'd like to have guests on the show who have a deep love for their home and have intentionally created an environment that they love being in. This could look like intentional design decisions through architecture and renovations, or maybe you have an altar space in your home or a room you consider sacred. Maybe you've already applied the principles of feng shui, vastu, or other modalities that address energy and space, or even just how you balance life at home with kids. That's a huge one that a lot of people can relate to. I'm also open to anyone who would like to have an open dialogue about creating that kind of space for you. You could consider it a sort of mini consultation with me on the podcast. That actually sounds really fun. I've recorded a few of these already, and it's been a real treat getting a sneak peek into someone else's space. And it also offers a different perspective of what home means to others and could maybe bring you to some sort of awareness about your home or offer an idea of something new you could implement for yourself. So if any of that interests you, please reach out to me directly via email at jsd@jadescottdesign.com. I'll put that in the show notes as well. Until next time, much love and gratitude.